Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Hope you're having a great week. Thanks for dropping in. Scotty G joins me today, and we tackle your listener questions, including some great questions about breakfast for some runners who are going to run their first 10K at the Princess Half Marathon weekend. They're looking to either go to Akershus or Cinderella's Royal Table. So we're looking at what time to schedule that breakfast and which one might be better. Also, flight times to avoid jet lag going from Nashville to Alani. Scott's got some ideas there. We're looking for the best villages over at Caribbean Beach to get your to minimize the steps you'll be taking throughout the vacation, and cheer packages, how to avoid buying tickets through Varsity, and more. Lots of great questions on today's show. Don't forget, today's podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link as you do that holiday shopping. We'd really appreciate that. It supports us, it keeps us on the air. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the all-stars to keep us on the air. We appreciate that so much. It's only $5 a month. And for that support, you get those bonus shows called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2814 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having another rocking week here in the middle of December. This time next week, Santa is going to be getting ready to make his big run, so hopefully you are getting all that shopping done, taking us with you wherever you go, and just having a great holiday season. Remember, slow down, enjoy the season, and just hope you're having a good season with your friends and family. But today, taking a break to answer your listener questions on Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line. Let's talk Disney. That's why we're here, and always appreciate you taking the time to listen to the show. My buddy's here with me today, Scotty G, as Ricky's doing her motherly duties. Pam is taking a well-deserved vacation this week, which she totally deserves. So it's a Mike and Scott show. Scott, must-see adventures. What's happening up in Michigan? I know it's still cold up there. What's up?
It's cold. It feels like it's single-digit temperatures, but I just have to apologize. You know, Pam was gone, Ricky was gone, so sorry, everyone. You got stuck with me and Mike this week. Hopefully we step up to the plate, you know, and we delivered 2 great episodes this week.
Hey, we're
giving 3 when you count the live show.
I know it's a lot of Mike and Scott this week, so we apologize in advance. But we're here. We're going to do the best we can and talk some Disney. So let's do a little check-in, though. You know, we're about a week out from Christmas. So how are things in the Gardner household this around this time? Like, you guys making cookies? The trees already? The presents under the tree? Like, what are things like? What we got going?
Well, I'll tell you, as the time of this airs, yesterday was a big day for me. So like, it's hard for me to like start focusing on the family Christmas stuff. So I like to volunteer for a lot of Christmas stuff at work for families in need. So like, I sign up for like this big family thing and I organize it with my department. And Liz and I usually adapt like a foster teen, and then we do stockings for foster kids and all this. And all that stuff is due tomorrow or yesterday, on Tuesday of this week for work. So we've been gathering this all. Liz helps me wrap and all that stuff. We got it all gathered. So I get to do those deliveries on Tuesday. And then it's like sigh of relief, like, cause like family in needs, like that's really important to me. Like they're getting their Christmas, you know, that they deserve. And then I'm like, now I got like a week. I'm like, all right, now we got to lock in on like what we're doing with our family. Luckily, Liz is on top of that. She's been taking care of like the grandparents, figuring out what we're going to do for Emily and all that. So hopefully we can relax a little bit, put our feet up, and enjoy this week leading up to Christmas. Great week, actually, honestly.
That's super cool that you guys do that because, you know, this is the time of year to focus on those that are less fortunate. And I love that you got to do that because, you know, when I was a teacher, we kind of did the same thing around this year with children that needed it from the orphanage near our school. Oh, yeah. And it is cool to see, you know, how appreciative families and kids like that are. So thanks for doing that. That's really, I bet you see like a lot of smiles. It's really cool.
And you get like a little wish list, and then you're like, you're thinking like, no, we can do more than this wish list. So I like try to gather up the troops at work and like, come on, can you pitch in a few dollars? You know, like we can. For the family we had this year, the mom didn't put in a single thing, and that was so kind of her, right? She just worried about her kids, but like, no, we got to do something for mom too. So we figured out some good things we could give for the mom that were kind of generic without knowing like what her interests were, you know, things like that. But I appreciate it, Mike. It's something that my organization is really big on, is taking care of like families in need, the young kids, and glad that I can just play a small role in it.
Yeah, no, this time of year, we really need to take a step back and think about how lucky we are to get to go places like Walt Disney World, take cruises. I mean, you know, sometimes we stress about the minor details, but heck, we have it really, really good to get to go do these things that we do so many times. We're so blessed. All right, let's hop into some listener questions. Oh, we have some in the inbox, but if you are tuned in live, Tanja's here, Dennis is here, we see Billy's here. A lot of folks tuned in live that have been chatting with us in the pre-show. So drop any questions you might have, and you'll be a internet superstar for today. At least, you know, well, I mean, with our podcast family.
Oh,
so
definitely a superstar.
Absolutely. No, Megan's got a question here. It says, not that urgent. Run Disney dining listener question.
Not that urgent. I love how that's
everybody's got the urgency thing, which I love. So we're going to run with that probably through the end of 2025. She says, hey, Mike, I have a question for you. My 2 girlfriends and I are going to Disney in February for the Princess Weekend. We're running the 10K on Saturday. I was thinking it would be fun to try and get Cinderella's roll table, or if not able to, Akershus for breakfast after the race. What would be a good time to try to get it? Or if this isn't a good idea, I'm open to suggestions. This is all of our first race weekends, so we're not really sure what to expect. Thanks, Megan. I like it. Princess Weekend and trying to eat in the castle, or if not Akershus, the
great alternative
secondary castle.
Yeah,
the cheaper castle.
It's decorated. I haven't been there in a long time to either of these places. I feel like I need to do a research trip here soon to those.
Those are good. So, okay. So they're going to run the 10K. Okay. So we got to do some timing here.
I started writing down some timing. So the 10K starts at 5.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm going to say the girlfriends are going to like stop and want to get some photos, take your time, have a good time with it. So I'm going to say 2 hours to do 10K. Let's just call it 2 hours, Mike.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to rush yourself, and
you don't want to rush yourself, and you want to take a photo after the race and all that. Maybe we can call it 2 hours, 15 minutes, because it depends on your corral placement too. I didn't even think about that. Like, it depends on where you're starting the race.
And they're first timers, so they could be in the back.
Yeah, you could be like in corral E or F potentially. So then you're not starting the race till like 5:45-ish maybe. So call that 2 hours from there. That'd be 7:45, and do a couple photos, get your runner's box, get back to the resort because you want to change. You want to change it to clean up a little bit for a nice outfit with the princesses. So basically what I'm getting at, I think a 10 a.m. would be a safe bet for your reservation.
I was thinking 10 a.m. too, like right off the bat. 10 a.m. is going to give you that buffer to get. Now, see, here's the question. Tanja asked this. Like, first of all, she says do Akershus first. That'd be, you're in the Epcot area as it is with Princess. It's a better, to me, I don't know. It depends if you want to go like all in. Like Akershus is a better value. I like the meal actually better myself. Inside Akershus rocks. I like the experience there. Cinderella's roll table.
Both are great. They
are, but man, Cinderella's roll table is like breathtaking.
Just remember Princess Weekend though, you run through the well, not in the 10K though.
Not the 10.
They're not doing the half. But I think I know
good.
So at the 10K is more of an Epcot race.
Yep.
But there's something about still getting, even if it's not an Epcot race, getting some medal photos in front of the castle.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you get done a little early and you get cleaned up and then you show at 9:15 for your 10 a.m. ADR, you can do a photo shoot in front of the castle first before your meal. I'm leaning more towards Cinderella Royal Table, but either way, you have a good backup.
But here's the question: do you go back to the hotel, or do you just go to the?
I'm going back and changing. I want to freshen up for the princesses.
You do?
I do.
Okay, I guess, but if they're, I guess, especially.
I just think I don't know, and I'm not.
Because you can get on the bus.
I'm just saying this from my wife and my daughter experience. I don't know how all ladies are, but they might want to go back and freshen up their hair a little bit.
True.
after sweating in the race and like get cleaned up. It's good. Freshen up the makeup a little bit before you go on your meal with the princess. So that's just how my girls would be. But
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so 10 o'clock's a good time. And Akershus, I would do Akershus probably first. It's a better value. I like that. But I mean, if you want to go all in and pay the bigger price, you can never beat Cinderella's Royal Table. It's just expensive.
I would just say Mike would be like hating this in real life because Mike, you don't like to wait. You always are like eat at the food court. Never. I feel like the one time was when me and Emily did one of the 10Ks and she wanted Garden Grill.
Yes, I remember that. Oh my!
That was like the one time I think you did a food court resort food court.
It's so hard to wait to eat after a race. Oh my god!
I know you just want to
jump
calories. Right into it.
It's so hard. All right, over on Instagram, Kat Coppersmith says, "Hey guys, make my reservations tomorrow morning for my February trip, and so excited." So just good luck to you tomorrow morning on that. That's always an exciting time. And Julie says, "Hello from Pop." I think it's Julia from Pennsylvania,
Scotland. Oh, no?
No, well, maybe it is. Scotland or Pennsylvania. Let's see.
Same thing.
Actually, right now she says hello from Pop. She's at Pop Century.
So I know Julie from Scotland is Walt Disney World.
Oh, yeah. So that is Julie from Scotland. You're right. She's at Pop Century right now. We're going to try to catch Starlight and Happily Ever After tonight. Where do you recommend we try and get a spot to cover both? And by the way, she loved Candlelight Processional the other night. She's gonna try to see it again. I loved her excitement in the Discord. Hey, I know that's pretty cool. So she wants to see Happily Ever After and Starlight. I mean, I guess she's looking for one spot for both. Ooh.
I mean, the one spot for both would be Main Street USA.
Yeah.
But you gotta get there early, just based on my experiences. Some other photos I've seen, like it fills up quick on Main Street for this parade. And depends on which one do you want to do, right? Because they do Starlight first and after. So you probably want to line up for it first, maybe watch Starlight first, get a spot on Main Street kind of early, and then wait out there for Happily Ever After afterwards.
Yeah, that's probably what I do too.
But I would just say scope it out, get there a little early. If you start people starting to grab some curb kind of early on, you just have to dedicate. And if this is Julie from Scotland, I know that she's down there for a long time, right? So you got time, right? To spend a couple hours waiting for a spot.
Get a good snack, hang out. Yeah, get a good snack. She says, P.S. Love meeting Maria, Trisha, Beth, and Steph on Saturday. So that is Julie from Scotland. Yeah, so that's awesome.
So that's the move, right? You and if you're with the family, you have a runner, so like you have I think they're a family of 4, so you have like 2 people holding down the fort and someone grabs some Casey's or even goes over the cosmic ray, they come back, and then boom, you got the food there. You can talk while you wait. I like doing that, actually. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Main Street's because you got Casey's, you got the confectionery if you want something.
You got a Christmas background loop playing while you're enjoying your snack.
I mean, you got the bakery. You can get stuff from Starbucks. You got all kinds of stuff you can get to pass the time.
Yeah. And people get some cotton candy. I'm getting like a tummy ache thinking about this. Dude, but it sounds great.
This is good stuff. All right. Katie's got a question. She's tuned in live over on Facebook. I have a Disneyland question for you guys. We're going in early August, so we could take advantage of the kids' summer ticket deal. Do you think there will be room discounts? We would love to stay on property, but it's a little pricey. Also, what's your recommendation for the closest off-property resort? Would love to hear recommendations. So room discounts possible.
Disneyland room discounts are tricky.
Well, they have been doing them though. But you're just gonna have to see because it is all based on demand. Like it's really,
and it's usually more of a last minute because I'm looking at a February trip right now and there's they don't have discounts out to that point in time yet. So.
No, it would be later in the game. Yeah, it'd probably be for August. You're probably talking like the beginning of summer at the earliest you'd find out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking like May almost or June.
That's what I'm thinking.
They really don't give you much of a window for those.
So let's talk offsite. They call them good neighbor hotels out at Disneyland. I've stayed in a few. You've stayed in a few. I've always
stayed in the Fairfield there on Harbor Boulevard, but like the last time when we did that 2024 Run Disney race, like I was feeling the wear and tear on it, and I've been kind of thinking like the next time we do a good neighbor, I'm going to go somewhere else. And you really interested me because of I always hear about the Howard Johnson, the Hojo.
Yep.
And I always feel like, Hojo, man, that's like 1970s.
It
Like
is.
it's old. It's not gonna feel right. But your photos looked great when you stayed there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I got a really good room, I think. I don't know if all the rooms are like this, but I got like a room on the first floor, like right as you walk in. It was an ideal room, right? Because you didn't have to go up any like there was like a tower, there was a tower in this hotel. I didn't have to go up any of that jazz. I just walked in right there. My room was like 3 down from the main door, and I was in and out. It was perfect. Don't know if I'll get, it wasn't like a special room either. I just booked a standard room. I'm cheap. I was by myself. I wasn't booking anything special, but God, I loved it. Like the room was updated. It was large. It had everything I needed. I mean, it had that the Howard Johnson color scheme too. It was like that blue and orange, like, you saw from the 70s, because I'm a nostalgic dude. I loved it. Like it was perfect for me. It was exactly what I wanted. And I bought, junk out of the store. Anything that had Howard Johnson on it. It was a great, easy walk right there to the side entrance. I mean, the hotel's right across from the Matterhorn. You see the Matterhorn right there from your hotel.
See fireworks from there too.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, the one I would stay at it's right next door to it, basically like 2 hotels down.
Yeah,
like that is a great location, easy to walk to.
Yeah, it was super easy. I mean, the thing is, like, any of those, like, you got the Tropicana's right there. You're passing that. I'm trying to think what I walked past. I think Camelot. You just walk past them. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. I mean, you're talking like 2 minutes past each.
And I'll say, I still love the Fairfield right there. Like, you have the Panera that's right next door. So a lot of times, my family, we would just mobile order the Panera and just grab our coffees and like a bagel sandwich or whatever, and we just walk to the parks, and then we just, while we're waiting in the turnstiles, we just kind of eat that right there, get a little quick breakfast, because like we don't go to Disneyland as often, right? And being from like Eastern time zone to out there, like we're waking up kind of early, so we're always eager to just start the day and get in the Disneyland park. So we're like, we rope drop at Walt Disney World, but we really rope drop at Disneyland. I mean, we're like waiting out there early, so we always like to grab some breakfast. And if you want to go even unhealthier route, there's a McDonald's right there too. You can grab like a biscuit sandwich or whatever. Like, I mean, there's some good like food options right next to the Fairfield that you can easily grab on the go.
There's a Denny's too, I think, right there.
There's IHOP and a Denny's too. I mean,
it's so
we've eaten at the IHOP. There was one time, Mike, like it was like our first morning, and we're staying at the Fairfield, and we're like, all right, let's just try to sleep in, and blah blah blah. We woke up at 4:30 in the morning, and we were like wide awake. Like,
because that's 7:30 your time, right? Or no?
Well, no. Yeah, it would have been 7:30 my time back home. Yeah. So like we were just like so wide awake. We're like, what do we do? We're like, well, we can have a table service restaurant, but nothing's open at Disney, yet. So we went to the IHOP because it was open 24 hours.
Nothing wrong with IHOP. We love a good IHOP around here. So and Denny's too. All right, hey, Kelly Jean Stockton over on Instagram's got a question for Scotty G. So here we go. First trip to Alani next year. What's your advice on choosing the best flight times to avoid jet lag? We're flying out of Nashville and nonstop isn't an option, sadly. So what do you got advice? Flying out of the central time zone, can't catch
flying
a nonstop.
Central,
they don't want jet
I always
lag.
say the earliest you can go is the best. And that's because, and I kind of learned this trick from our friend Wade, who's visited Hawaii a lot. And he flies out of central time too. And I know he doesn't like early flights, but he loves the early flight for Hawaii. And that's because, so say like you've been traveling all day and you land there and it's like 4 PM, but it feels like 10 o'clock back home or 9 o'clock back home. So your body's kind of tired, but it's only 4 o'clock, and the goal is for that first day to stay awake as long as you can.
I've heard, so I've never done this, but I've always I've watched everybody like you and people like they say grind it out, right? You just gotta
just grind it out because there's still so much daylight left, right? Well, depending on the time of year you go. So I say, you land, and if you get a rental car, you do your rental car, you get to your resort or whatever, then you go in the ocean, you just like swim for a little bit, use your pools, have a snack, just stay awake as long as you can. That's why I don't want to go take a later flight, because I want to get there early, because I feel like if I'm on a late flight, then I'm going to feel sleepy. Like I get excited when I land there, so I get an extra little energy. So it's daylight, I can actually do some stuff. And then, just the trick is just stay awake as long as you can that first night. And you're still going to wake up ridiculously early the next morning. It's just natural. But it will really help you a lot. Like I shave like 3 hours usually that first day just by staying awake as long as I can. Then by like day 2 or 3, I'm on like a good Hawaii schedule. So it's coming back. That's the worst part, honestly.
Oh my God. Just coming back from Disneyland wears me out, dude. That's only 2 time zones. I hate coming back.
I always, you know me, Mike, I maximize my time off, right?
Yeah,
So
do.
like I normally go to work the next day whenever I do a trip. Even if I come in at like 10 o'clock at night, like I'm going to work the next morning at 7 a.m., but not for Hawaii. Like I always take the next day off from a Hawaii trip because I need that.
So let me ask you this though. I mean, because I don't know if you've ever done this. So she's going from Nashville to Hawaii. Have you ever done the thing where like you fly because you can't get a nonstop? So if you couldn't get a nonstop, have you ever done the thing where like you fly from like Nashville to Anaheim and like do like a day in Anaheim, like a Disneyland, and then catch a second leg?
So that's how we were going to do our first trip in 2020. That was our original plan. We were going to go with like Pam Forcer actually, and like our friends the Martins, and we were all going to go to San Francisco for a day or two to see the Walt Disney Museum and all that. And that was our plan, right? We were going to adjust 3 hours of time.
I thought that might be a good idea.
Like in a day or two, and then fly to Hawaii, and that's only like a 3-hour adjustment from there, So like you kind of like gradually picked it up because that's kind of fun, right? You can like sneak in a little visit to Disneyland or San Diego or whatever because there's so many direct flights, obviously on the West Coast there. So that's a good way to do it. But like for me though, like I'd rather just rip the Band-Aid and just like go straight for Hawaii just because like it's Hawaii, it's paradise. Like there's other trips you could possibly make depending on like how you travel, where you could go to California. Like let's just do it all in one. Let's just maximize another day in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But yeah, good luck. I'm fortunate I have a direct. Some people might say the direct might be too long of a flight because I mean it's like a 9-hour flight. So like the nice thing with a layover, you can chop it up. But like I just want to get it all done in one and then boom, just have fun in paradise.
I also only fly Southwest, so I can't imagine anything over 3 hours, man. I'm locked up. Like 9 hours, man. I'd be like, you'd be calling me a chiropractor. You'd be wedging.
You got to get up, and I'm not one to like go to the restroom really on a flight or like get up, but like on those, like when we went to London and Paris too, like I just forced myself to get up every couple of hours just to walk for a little bit.
That's wild. Yeah, but I also see like you have like the nice drinks and you get the meal and your pictures. I'm like, dude, your dinner is better on that airplane than I'm probably having tonight at home. Like, yeah, I'm jealous of what you're having for dinner and you're on an airplane. I'm getting a thing of chocolate brittle and a little bitty, like the sample size of like, the cup you get at the doctor's of like Coke Zero. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's like, here, have two.
Okay, I hope you enjoy that trip to Alani though. It is spectacular. I love going there. We got Jason in the chat. I know he's going to Alani in 2026 as well. So a lot of people making the way over there.
I'm going to get there soon too. All right. Speaking of Jason, with the penny being discontinued, how long before we get rid of the press penny machines at the parks?
Ooh,
that's a good point. I mean, I guess the pennies will be in circulation though. People are going to have, but I mean,
but a lot of times they charge you. They have a brand fresh new one in the machine,
that's
that
true.
you use. So,
and they charge you like $1 now to press them or something. It's like they're expensive or 50.
Could they change it to something else? The pressed nickel doesn't sound too right.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't look as cool.
The press quarter. Yeah, exactly. It's the inflation of everything. All right.
Start using like the dollar coins.
Yes. We have here we go. We had a question for you. Now I have a question for me. It says Disney/cheer question. Only Mike can answer. Hey, Mike, hope you're well. And the Destiny is amazing. Is as amazing as it looks. Question for you, since I know you've gone to Disney for cheer with your daughter many times. This will be our second time competing at UCA in March for cheer. My daughter is 9. I have to order the package through Varsity All-Star Sports with park hopper tickets. However, I am an annual pass holder, so I really don't need the park passes. I needed to book through the group, and my daughter does need the park passes, but since I don't, do you have any guidance on this? I looked into their commuter option, which was not cost effective, as I still need to put the name on the room. So I did end up booking the package. Have you come into this problem before, being an annual pass holder? Let's see, my only thought is to try to sell my other 3-day park hopper to someone else, but not sure if that's the right way to go about it. Any advice would be appreciated. Hope this makes sense. Thanks so much, Emily. Okay, so for those people that are confused about this whole situation, Varsity is this huge company that runs All-Star Cheer and Dance. And it's kind of a big racket because they sell all the gear. They put on all the competitions throughout the country. There'll be like 10 every weekend from October till May. And they make a gajillion dollars. I mean, they make $1 billion. It's ridiculous. And they have all these packages, right, for these competitions out of Walt Disney World, like Summit and Worlds and stuff, and they do it. So the way this works is they have a deal worked out with Disney that you have to, all the performers, all the athletes have to buy these packages, and they have to include tickets. For the life of me, I can't remember how we did it, though, because we haven't got a Summit for a few years, but we did have to buy the package. Because that was part of the deal. Like every athlete has to buy because if you want to stay with the team, you have to buy the package. Now, I don't think we bought tickets though, for some reason. Now we didn't stay on site ever. Our team always stayed at a Disney Springs hotel. And the reason we did this, we never got to stay on site. And the reason our gym chose to do that was because our gym worked out a deal with either the Holiday Inn Disney Springs or the Ramada Disney Springs. We always stayed at a different Disney Springs hotel every year because we got them to set up a performance mat in one of the convention rooms so that we could practice each night in the performance in the convention hall. So we had a mat in the room, so in the performance hall, so we could practice. They wouldn't, obviously at like All-Star Sports, we couldn't do that. You couldn't perform out in the grass. I mean, you see them doing that all the time, but it's not safe. So that's why we wanted to it was a business trip. We wanted to practice each night and we had to set up a place for us. So that's why we stayed at the Disney Springs hotels. But yes, we did have to buy through Varsity. We bought our rooms through Varsity, but I don't think we bought the tickets through Varsity because I did have an annual pass. And at the time, the girls had annual passes too. So I guess your best option would be to sell the ticket to try to sell it to another parent. I don't know. Yeah. Let me think on that one. And because I have your email, Emily, I'll see what I can.
I had a similar thing happen to me with a Run Disney race once. Like years ago, like a wine and dine where like it was sold out. So I found like this company that had a bid, but you had to like book a room and get a ticket with them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, I'm an annual pass holder, but this is like back when FOMO was a serious thing, right, Mike? I was like, well, my boy's running the race, like I want to be there. So yeah, I had to buy like a 1-day ticket, like for all of us, which is like so annoying, but it got me the bib. And you know what I did with that 1-day ticket? Since I was blocked out for like New Year's Eve, like I just used it for New Year's Eve, like later that year.
And a lot of times you can put these tickets on your MDE account and use them later or like credit them towards an annual pass renewal or something like that. So you could look at that. I mean, that is an option. You could like tag it to your MDE account and use it for like your renewal. Sometimes that's an option, but just look at the details and talk it through. And what I'm going to do, we're still tight with like all the people at our former gym, Platinum Athletics, and I'll see what I can ask about the current Varsity packages and get back to you. Cause I haven't done it for a few years because Mallory hasn't done competitive cheer. She's been doing high school. And she won't be doing cheer after this year. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be missing out. But yeah, good luck to your daughter because it's going to be fun. It's going to be stressful. Hope you hit 0. All right, we have a question here that says maybe urgent. So let's see how urgent this one is from Jessica. Hey, BOGP team. I'm planning to do the Disney Half Marathon in 2027. I'm not a runner, but this is definitely on my Disney bucket list. My plan is to train throughout 2026, so I'm ready in 2027. So I need all the details and any tips and tricks you've got. When are the dates for the 2027 races usually released, and when does registration open? From what I understand, this is a hot ticket event, so what should I expect? Any training tips would be extra magical, Jessica. All right, she wants to run the Disney Half Marathon in 2020. I guess she's talking about Marathon Weekend, 2027. Mm-hmm. So that comes out in usually April?
So I just searched for 2026. It was March.
God, earlier every year. Holy smokes. Yeah. Man,
and that's the hardest part. I mean,
that is
Jessica, I'll say like, kudos to you. This is awesome. I'm going to give you a fair warning. This is how I got hooked to Walt Disney World, run Disney races was, I'm going to run a half. I'm going to run 1/2 and that's going to be it. And now I have like over 80 Run Disney medals. So good luck to you with that.
Yes.
But yeah, I would say like the hardest part is the registration. Wouldn't you agree, Mike?
It's 100%. And I'll just warn you that the marathon weekend half marathon is probably the most in demand race besides the 5K. The 5K and the half marathon are going to be the hardest to get into because it's the most sought after.
Agreed.
So you got to be, so the best advice would be, there's two things. One, become a part of the Lizards. Go to Be Our Guest Lizards on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. Just go there, join all you got to do is just hit join. Mike will let you in, Mike Bankhead. And we have on registration days, we help each other out through the Discord server. That'll help you get in. And use that. You want to use every resource you have. If you can't get in, you could get through a charity. That helps too sometimes. But once you get registered, let's don't stress about that. But you want to be ready on registration morning, like an hour before it goes live, which will be that morning, usually mid-morning, early, like 9 a.m. Eastern, something like that. You'll get all the details on the Lizards page. But join the Lizards will give you all the details there. But once you're registered, the training, obviously, just build up to it throughout the year. If you're a part of the Lizards group, you'll just get all the encouragement. We have training plans in there. People talk each other through. I mean, Scott, you see that every day, right? You see people talking about, especially if you're new and you just ask, you'll get training buddies, virtual training buddies that'll walk you right through the process because you have people that have done this for decades. I mean, it's crazy.
For sure. I think, especially for those like for marathon weekend, I know Molly does like a weekly post or whatever. A lot of it is towards dopey, but it's just not for that. It's for any race distance that you're going to do. And it's just gives you encouragement. Everyone is out there like supporting everybody. So like Mike is right. Like if you want attention and you want the encouragement, go out there and post. If you don't want it, then that's fine too. Like you don't have to be out there posting, but sometimes for me, just seeing what other people are doing gives me motivation too. So I would highly recommend joining the Lizards if you haven't.
Yeah. So and the whole thing is just, and I like that you're giving yourself plenty of time because you just build up gradually to the 13 miles. And with as much time as you have, you're going to be able to do it. Just what I would do is like set a goal to do a local 5K by the middle of 2026, like say, maybe by Memorial Day, I'd like to run a 5K locally and make that a goal. That'd be a fun goal to get to. And then you get a medal, maybe do it Memorial Day or something, and then maybe by Labor Day try to find a 10K around your town or something, and then between Labor Day and Christmas build up to that 13 miles. That just it's a gradual build up, but I mean make it fun for yourself. A 5K, a 10K, then build up to 13, and then by Christmas time you're ready to go and run a half marathon at Disney World.
That's a great point because I don't know if Jessica's done like a race before, but like I did that because I was nervous what a race was going to be like at Walt Disney World. So I wanted to know like what it was going to be like at just even like a local one, which is such a smaller scale. And like that helped me like get some nerves out of my system when I finally did my first half marathon at Walt Disney World, Wine and Dine, because I had some sort of like race experience back home and that helped a lot.
Yeah, because it is. I mean, it's huge scale when you get to Walt Disney World, but even your town, it helps you to like get up, get your, what you're going to wear the night before, put on a bib, go down to, get even like in my town, a race would be a couple hundred people. Walt Disney World, it's like, 10,000 people, but it's still the same thing. You got to get into a corral. You hear the announcers, you get the adrenaline going, but it's not a big deal in St. Louis, like in St. Charles, it's not a big, but it's still the process and it's fun to do. All right. How about
I
one
just
more?
love Jason sharing my training plan though. Yeah. Don't necessarily do what I do. Don't use the 5K to train for a 10K and a 10K to train for the half. Cause that's what I do over race weekends. Not ideal.
For the dopey, I'm not going further than like 13 or 14 miles. So but I do it a lot. But I mean, I just like I get to like 14 and then
over a 4-day period, you do more miles than the dopey. So.
I do. That's how I look at it. I continuously do a dopey over the entire year, but I don't ever go past. I don't ever go past 14 in a day. Like running. But yeah, I do. I have a continuous dopey constantly going for since 2020. That's why I look at it, but we'll see. That's why that's why my knees crack.
Than that.
That's why my knees crack. All right, last question today. It says, listener questions. Urgency is in the eyes of the beholder. Okay. So we got to figure out the urgency. It says Christmas week trip from Brooke. Hey, BOGP crew. We're excited for our upcoming Christmas trip to Disney World next week. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. We're staying at Caribbean Beach and trying to decide which section we'd like to request. Ooh, I'm going down next month and I got to decide too. I think we've narrowed it down to Jamaica or Barbados. Both seem to be in a decent position between the Skyliner and food options. Any thoughts? I have some thoughts real quick. Also, any suggestions on underrated non-park things to do around the resorts for the holidays? We're already planning on resort hopping to see decorations, but we're trying to come up with some creative things to do on the days my sister has to work. She's finishing up the DCP in Fantasyland. I hope you and your families have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. God bless. Brooke from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Roll Tide. Let's hope we have a good Friday night down in Norman. All right, so let's see here. So my two favorite, and I think we're going to agree on this, villages, Caribbean Beach. My two favorite, Jamaica and Aruba. What about you?
I just Kokomo.
I was gonna say, I should have said it the other way. I just totally screwed it up.
Yeah,
I should have said it backwards.
Said Aruba
I know, dude. I told
or
right.
Jamaica.
As soon as I said it, I was like, "Dang, I screwed it."
It's 100% Jamaica for me.
Mm-hmm.
No, most of that is because our first ever Walt Disney World trip was at Caribbean Beach, and we stayed in Jamaica. So I just love those yellow buildings in Jamaica.
Yep.
Every time I'm on the Skyliner and fly over them, or if I'm in the area and I see those yellow buildings, it just makes my heart happy because that's like what got me addicted to Walt Disney World and takes me back to those early family memories when Emily was 3 years old. So, and I think it's a great location within the resort too. I just got assigned that obviously on our first trip, and like it just has always been my favorite building ever since at Caribbean Beach.
Yeah, Jamaica's. I love that yellow. There's something about that yellow. It's like
it just pops. I just love that yellow.
Right. It's I don't even know. Like it's not even. It's like its own yellow. Like I almost call it like Caribbean Beach Jamaica yellow or something. It's a beautiful shade there. It looks gorgeous. The only reason I say Aruba is it's adjacent to Jamaica, but it's over closer to the Riviera, right? So if you want to take advantage of like the Riviera Skyliner station and you want to take like advantage of Primo Piatto as a dining option, that would give you that. Now, ideally, like if you really want to kind of go, really narrow down on this, is a Jamaica room that's close to the Aruba section. Like that would be ideal. Like I would love to get a room that's in Jamaica, but close to the Aruba rooms. Like that would be where ideally I'd love to be. But I mean, they're probably not going to get you that close. But that's where I'd love to be. Like on the Aruba Jamaica border, right between them. Mm-hmm. That'd be a good spot. Because I do go, when I say Caribbean Beach, I do go over to Primo Piatto. And I'd like to have the option of both Skyliner stations.
I like that food court Caribbean Beach though. It's kind of nice. The Centertown. I can't remember what it's called now.
Yeah, I think it is Centertown.
I like that too. Yeah,
I do. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right. So what other kind of stuff, like non-resort hopping, like you are a mini golf like aficionado. And I like doing it too. Mini golf's always in there. And remember, if you're on a package, you get before 4 p.m. you get like a round.
Right. Is winter summer open right now? I can't remember.
I think it came back online recently.
I think so. And I know you always say this. You always love to do the summer course when it's like Christmas time and vice versa.
I do.
So I say, why not do both? Because they're both a lot of fun. So yeah, I love going over there. I will say Fantasia Gardens is my preferred favorite of those two, but like we've gone and played the Christmas course like on New Year's Eve and stuff and stuff like that. Like I do like going over there when it's like in the middle of summer or near the holidays. It's just adds to that theme there too. So I love the mini golf. So thanks for bringing that up, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, resort hopping is what you got to do, right? I mean, snacks and seeing the Christmas trees, obviously, if you're going down for Christmas, especially like Wilderness Lodge. I was thinking about this. I saw a post the other day. Somebody like it was like a Disney history kind of Twitter account. And they were talking about the tallest trees around Walt Disney World. Do you know what the tallest Christmas tree is at Walt Disney World?
The Contemporary.
Yep, that's it. But
Is it right? Oh,
yeah, that is.
I love that
You
tree.
got it. Yeah,
I
no,
love
me
that
too.
tree
I
so
love that
much.
tree too. But you know what I was thinking is the shame of it is you really can't go out and get a picture with it. Like it's not.
It's
It's
work.
Not very
I have some
accessible.
photos. That's funny. Us and Beth, it's like one of our traditions. Like, because it was one of our first photos. It was in front of that tree. Because it's like you have to almost be like staying there or like move your car and park close to it. Because it's like nowhere. It's in the parking lot, but it's nowhere near anywhere you want to park either. It's work.
Yeah, because they're talking about the tallest tree is the Contemporary. The second tallest tree is Main Street. I think the one at the Contemporary is 70 feet, and I think the one Main Street's like 65.
Okay.
And at least that's what it said. I mean, who knows if it's true? I didn't take out a tape measure. But the thing I was thinking of is I love that tree at the Contemporary. And I have like, we were doing something for the agency. We had like a training or something down there one year while it was still up. And we had a break. And I walked out there, right, to get a picture with it. But I'm thinking, it's so inaccessible, like it's such a great tree, but it's so hard to get a picture with it. Like,
especially at night, because it lights up. I love the lights on that tree. And it's fun when you're like at Contemporary, like if you're like at not California Grill, that's about it. Like if you're at like Narcoossee's or something and you like go out and look out and you can see the tree from there because it's like all lit up. You're like, oh, there it is. That's the Contemporary tree. It's just so cool to see like from a distance too. It's such a pretty tree, underrated tree, if you ask me.
Okay, real quick, because we got to wrap. We're going to talk about the Destiny on Friday show, so we're going to get going on that here shortly. But like a couple other trees around property you think are underrated? Give me a couple.
So
trees.
I love the Fort Wilderness tree, like right there by like Pioneer Hall. Like when you get off the boat there, like there's like a little like playground and where you park the golf carts. It's so cool because they have like unique ornaments on it that it's just like camping type ornaments, like I just think. And I don't think very many people see that tree is the thing. Cause like you talking about the Contemporary being work, like that is work too, right?
Yeah,
unless you're not staying at the fort or going to hoop-de-doo, like when are you ever going to see that tree? And I think it's a great underappreciated tree.
Yeah. I want people to drop that in the clubhouse this week and let us know like your favorite trees around property. Cause I'm obviously nostalgic. I love the Pop Century Christmas tree with all the kind of, like nods, but also that silvery tree that they have across over at Art of Animation too. Like, cause it's it almost needs to be a pop. Like
that reminds me of like Happy Days for some reason.
It's definitely, it reminds me of something like not my grandparents I spent the most time with, but my mom's parents had that kind of that silverish kind of Christmas tree. Reminds me of that. I love that. But yeah, I like it. Disney does their trees. So even Animal Kingdom's trees, like very underrated.
Oh my God.
So good.
Animal Kingdom, because everyone talks about the Wilderness Lodge tree. I mean, Animal Kingdom tree, in my opinion, is just as good.
Yes, totally agree. All right, so we're going to jump out of here. You have questions, though, for next week's show. Get them in, level of urgency, put it in there, and we'll get that on the show. Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. Don't forget, though, show's always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We are standing by like Santa's elves this holiday season to help you plan an amazing Disney vacation. Best part, no additional cost to you, so check out all the details this week over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. As you're doing that last minute shopping, take that extra couple of seconds, click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That really does help us out. So thank you so much for that. And finally, you can support us on Patreon. It's just $5 a month. It's like a cup of hot cocoa a month, and then you support the podcast. Everybody wins, and you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. So come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Thank you so very much to everybody who does that each month. We appreciate that so much. You can follow me on the social media at beourguestmike. That's on Instagram, x.com, and Threads. Scott is at epscott, EPSCOT, but where you need to go is Must See Adventures over on YouTube. Scott, let us know what's happening on the channel this week.
Just got some our Wine and Dine race weekend recap. So if you ever was curious what a race looked like, I got the 10K video that's about to post. The 5K is already out there, but we do more things than that too. We got Sangria University that's coming up in the next episode. Now, it's kind of interesting, right? Because that was at Three Bridges, but just this week it moved to Toledo.
Oh.
So what you saw there is going to be a little bit different experience now. Same concept, right? I would assume, but it's just going to be in a different atmosphere. So if you're ever curious about Sangria University, you want to check out this video.
So like and subscribe, Must See Adventures. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up. On Friday's outro, I'm going to ask you your favorite underrated classic episode of Must See Adventures. Somebody should go back in the archives.
Ooh, okay.
So be
I
ready.
like it.
Think about that. I'm gonna, because we got to mix it up here a little bit.
I like it.
So be ready.
I mean, that's the beauty thing about like the
YouTube
podcast,
channel.
right?
Yeah,
There's 3,000 episodes that we can just go back and just listen to, and it's so great.
Well, I think
so
like
awesome.
a YouTube channel is a little bit better to go back and watch things a second or third time. Our podcast, like, you probably not gonna go back and listen to listener questions a second time. I don't know. I doubt it.
You might.
I doubt it. So don't forget, we'll have a live call-in show this Sunday night. Scott will be joining me. We'll take your calls. We'll turn the show over to you guys. Call in, talk about anything you want. So that'll be Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. So join us for that. All right, we'll be back again on Friday. We're going to talk about the Disney Destiny Fort Lauderdale's port. Scott was just down there, so I have some thoughts there. My wife Pam had some thoughts on the Wish class ships against the Fantasy and the Dream class ships and the Magic and the Wonder. So we'll talk about that. We're just going to talk some cruise. And I know it's been a little cruise heavy lately on their shows. We're going to bounce it back to Walt Disney World here soon, but I just got off the Destiny, so I wanted to give you a review of that. Spoiler free. Folks that are going, I know there's some things you don't want to get spoiled on. I'm not going to spoil you on that, but I'm going to get you some things to get you ready to get the most out of your Destiny cruise. Now that I've been on all 3 ships in that class, now the Wish, the Treasure, and the Destiny. So we'll talk about that and compare those. All right, so come on back on Friday. So until then, for Scotty G, Must See Adventures, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great Wednesday. We'll catch you on Friday. So stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.